Before it was a genre, before it was a sound, it was a feeling. A deep, contagious groove, a rhythm that made your body move before your mind could catch up. From packed dance floors to political protest, from street corners to stadium stages, funk became one of the most powerful musical movements of the 20th century. But where did it come from? Who shaped it? And how did one revolutionary bass technique change music forever? This is the story of funk. Funk didn't appear overnight. It grew out of African American, black musical traditions. Gospel, blues, jazz, and rhythm and blues. In the 1950s and early 60s, popular black music was dominated by soul and Motown. Artists like Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, and Otis Redding focused on melody, emotion, and smooth arrangements. But underneath that polish, something more rhythmic was brewing. Musicians began shifting attention away from harmony toward groove. And one man would change everything. Enter, mid-60s, James Brown. And James Brown reinvented popular music. Instead of focusing on chord progressions, Brown centered his music around rhythm. He told his band, "Give me the one." The one is the first beat of the measure, the downbeat. Everything was to revolve around it. Drums, bass, guitars, horns, all locked together into a tight, percussive machine. Just listen to songs like Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, Cold Sweat, or Sex Machine. They don't just entertain, they hypnotize, to this day. And Brown turned every single instrument into a part of the rhythm section. And in doing so, he created the blueprint for funk. So by the late 60s and early 70s, funk had exploded. It diversified and it started to experiment. And it got a little bit weird. Key players: Sly and the Family Stone. Sly Stone blended funk with rock and psychedelia. His band was interracial, mixed gender, and socially conscious. Way ahead of its time. Songs like Everyday People and Thank You brought funk into the mainstream. And then came George Clinton. George Clinton, with Parliament Funkadelic, also known as P-Funk, funk became a whole new universe. Spaceships, costumes, Afrofuturism, heavy grooves. Bootsy Collins' rubbery bass lines and Clinton's cosmic vision pushed funk into whole new dimensions. But we cannot talk about funk without talking about Earth, Wind and Fire, Kool and the Gang, or the Meters. These groups refined and expanded the sound. Earth, Wind & Fire added jazz and spirituality, Kool and the Gang brought party anthems, and the Meters perfected a stripped-down groove. By the mid-70s, funk was everywhere. And at its center was the bass. In early funk, bass players mostly used fingerstyle techniques. They played smooth, walking bass lines, borrowed from jazz. But one musician wanted something different: Larry Graham. While playing with Sly and the Family Stone in the late 60s, Graham faced a problem. Sometimes his band didn't have a drummer, so he tried to make up for the lack of drumming by adding percussive feel to the bass playing. In essence, he slapped the string with his thumb and he popped the strings with his index finger like a kick drum and a snare drum and a bass, all in one instrument. And so slap bass was born. Just listen again to Thank You and you will hear it immediately. The bass wasn't just supporting the groove, it was the groove. So after Larry Graham, slap bass spread fast. Bootsy added personality. The star-shaped glasses, the wild costumes, they're not everything, but those elastic bouncing slap lines, those are tasty. Louis Johnson, also known as Thunder Thumbs, brought slap into pop and disco. His work with Michael Jackson helped bring this technique worldwide. And how can we talk about slap bass without mentioning Stanley Clarke, Marcus Miller, Victor Wooten, or Flea? From jazz, funk to fusion, Stanley Clarke expanded slap into virtuosic territory. And later generations only pushed that further. Marcus Miller refined it even further, and Victor Wooten turned it into a language, and Flea took it into rock with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So slap bass became the symbol of funk itself. Slap basically became funk. To this day, when someone slaps that bass, you gotta move it. So in the late 70s and 80s, funk found a new home: hip hop. DJs like Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash sampled funk records, especially James Brown. The funky drummer break became one of the most sampled rhythms in history, while P-Funk became the foundation of West Coast rap. Artists like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg built G-Funk around it. Meanwhile, slap bass entered everything from pop to rock to jazz fusion and even metal. From Prince to Daft Punk, from Red Hot Chili Peppers to Jamiroquai, from Thundercat to Anderson .Paak, funk has never disappeared, it's only transformed. But funk isn't just about music. It was identity. It emerged during the civil rights and black power movements. It embraced blackness. Black pride, black beauty, black creativity. James Brown's Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud wasn't just a song. It was a statement. Funk celebrated black bodies, dance, joy, sexuality, and freedom. In a society that tried to limit black expression and still tries to limit black expression, funk was liberation through rhythm. Today, funk lives everywhere. It's in hip-hop beats, it's in pop bass lines, it's in electronic dance music, it's in modern jazz, and especially in that unmistakable slap of the bass. From Larry Graham's thumb to stadium stages with Flea to bedroom producers, the slap bass reminds us of something really simple. Music doesn't just live in your ears, it lives in your body, in your feet, in your spine, in your heartbeat. And as long as people want to move, funk will never die. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. We're already on week 6. I cannot believe it. Week 6 for the 26 for 26 challenge. Next week, we're having a look at G for Gothic Rock. If you enjoyed this one, please subscribe and stick around for more of all of this goodness. Thanks. See you next week. Bye.